Hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about tax, tip, and discount. These are basically concepts that involve percent, and they're in the real world. Let's go ahead and get started so you can see what I'm talking about. So it says Kayleen spends $62.50 on dinner. She leaves an 18% tip. How much is her total bill after tip? So she's going to pay 18% on top of the $62.50. So what I first want to do is I'm going to show you two different ways. Obviously, I want kids to understand that even though it's tip, it's still percent, and we already know that percent is out of 100. So our percent is 62.50 is 100%, and we want to know what 18% of it is. Okay, so in the real world, we typically just calculate this using a decimal. So we want to convert 18% into a decimal, which means you divide by 100. 100 doesn't go into 18, so you're going to add a couple of zeros. 100 goes into 180 once. Then you're going to bring down, subtract, bring down a zero. Your new division is 800 divided by 100, which will give you 8. Now, I know most teachers just tell you to move the decimals to the left. I just wanted to show you why it works, or why you're moving the decimal. You're not moving it, you're actually dividing by 100. Okay, so you're going to multiply 62.5 by 1800s. You don't line up decimals. You just line up your numbers. Now we'll go ahead and add. Okay, so we had 1 decimal, 2 and 3, so that means we put 3 back. So the tip would be 125. It didn't ask you what the tip was, it asked you what the total was. If you forget, what's going to happen is you're just going to think that it's asking for tip, and then you're going to not pay attention. So you make sure you pay attention to the question. Is it asking for the tip amount or total? So we're going to add both of those. Line up decimals when you add and subtract. So 73.75. That's the total. All right, let's do another example. Ava's going to buy a new 60-inch TV for $750. It's on sale for 30% off. There's a 7% sales tax on the television. How much does she pay? Well, we first want to figure out the 30%. We already know 100%. I purposely put the percent on the left. It's irrelevant where you put it. It can be on the left, it could be on the right, as long as you keep it together. The total is $750. So we want to know what 30% is. I used to tell kids to just calculate 70%, but then they forget. So I'm just going to go keep it the way we're doing it, because you're paying 70%. We're going to calculate the 30% and then subtract it. If you feel comfortable, set it up as 70%. They're both divisible by, let's just go make it easy. Let's just divide it by 2. I'm trying to solve it the way it's easier for kids. So 750, half of 700 is 350, half of 50 is 25. So 375. All right, and then we know that this can be divided by 5. This becomes 10. And off the top of my head, I can't do this. I should be able to, right? It's too early. All right, I could keep going, but if you notice, there's a relationship that can go from 10 to 30. I could go again, there's nothing wrong with it. Or I can go, hey, you're only simplifying to get a relationship. That's it. 10 times 3 gives you 30. So whatever you do to the left, you're going to do to the right. So it winds up being 75 times 3, or add it up 75 3 times. When I do my videos, I try to do them of what kids would do and what they do to help to be successful. So 225 is not what she pays. That's her discount. So it's going to be 750 minus 225. And I try to go through it where I already see the misconceptions. So 525. We're not done because now we have to pay the 7% sales tax. I'll switch colors back to purple, and we already showed you in the last example. Divide by 100. And then whenever we get this amount, we're going to add it to 525. And we already know it's 0. Anything times 0 is 0. So 36.75. Remember, this is the tax. This is what we give the government. So we're going to add 36.75 to the 525. You don't have to add zeros. I like to, just for placeholders. So Ava ends up spending $561.75 on this 60-inch TV. All right, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful.